This is News 8 This Morning.
It is 6:30 on your Friday. Good morning. I'm Stella Escobedo.
I'm Eric Connert. Welcome to Friday here, and it is going to be a hot start to your weekend, and it may impact your plans a bit here, right, Evan?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going out to the any San Diego County deserts, Borrego Springs, Ocotillo Wells, it is very hot out there. 116, 117 degrees is where we see those forecast highs going. That's pretty much near Death Valley territory. So it is going to be very, very hot across the county, even along your coastline. We're still making our way to the 80s. 80 in Carlsbad this afternoon, 83 for San Diego and Oceanside. Keep the water on hand, keep the sunscreen on hand. UV indexes are still pretty extreme out there. Over the course of the weekend, you got Saturday and Sunday bringing those temperatures down, but inland we are not going to see much relief. We're sticking with mainly those 90s across the board for Saturday and Sunday. Relief does come next week. Details in just a bit. It's 6:30 on the dot. Jenny, how are the roads?
You know, just a couple of minor crashes out there. I spot 3 crashes on the map currently. One is on Bradley Avenue. This is the newest one. Happened a few moments ago at Berrydale Street. So again, Bradley at Berrydale. It's not a full closure. This is just south of the Santee area. Single lane blocked. 94 Campo at Hamishaw. Single lane blocked with a crash there. No one hurt. North on the 5 at Palm. We've got that entrance ramp partially blocked. You see your travel times are really quiet this morning. Up to the North County, Escondido, Oceanside, Encinitas, etc., etc. They all look good.
This morning, the U.S. is warning of more violent attacks by the Islamic State in Afghanistan.
It comes after yesterday's deadly bombing near the Kabul airport. 13 U.S. service members and nearly 100 Afghans were killed in twin suicide attacks. It was the deadliest day for the U.S. military in over a decade.
We believe it is their desire to continue those attacks, and we expect those attacks to continue.
Evacuation flights out of Afghanistan have now resumed, and the crowd outside the Kabul airport is growing larger as thousands of people are still hoping to get out of the country by the end of the month. President Biden says the U.S. remains committed to its withdrawal deadline, August 31st, which is on Tuesday.
Our strong military community here in San Diego is watching these developments very closely.
It is a tragedy that hits especially close to home for the service members who serve here as well as their families. News 8's Chris Groh is live from Camp Pendleton with that part of the story. And good morning to you, Chris.
Good morning. A lot of pain and anguish felt really across the country, but really also here in San Diego County. We're already starting to see tributes line up there at Camp Pendleton's gate.
I feel for their families. It could have been my nephew.
Our Marines know that they're going to continue to be at risk.
That woman you just heard from, Azora Richer, her nephew just retired from the Marines after 20 years. She wanted to pay respects to the lives lost yesterday after that suicide bomb attack, multiple attacks there in Kabul, Afghanistan. Says could have been her nephew had he not just retired. We also heard part of our conversation there with Congressman Darrell Issa. But look, we're hearing from congressmen and congresswomen across really the entire country. That includes Congressman Scott Peters and Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs from here in our San Diego County area. Congressman Peters responded by saying the attack was, quote, devastating and the deaths of the service members, quote, senseless. Congresswoman Jacobs added in her statement that, quote, we must resist the urge to let our pain dictate our policy. Now, we did speak at length with Congressman Issa, and one of the things that he believes is that it's really only a matter of time before we learn that the heroes we lost yesterday have ties to San Diego County from either Camp Pendleton or MCRD San Diego. But he also pointed out that, look, the U.S., as they continue to pull military out of Afghanistan, intelligence had indicated an attack like this was likely, and another one is still very possible.
There was never a question that it wasn't if, but when and how many times. And the same is still true. The threat is continuing to grow.
And look, there are Marines from Camp Pendleton in Kabul, but we don't know if or how many of them are amongst those that were killed in these attacks. We do not have the names of those that were killed from the military just yet. Eric and Stella.
Chris, thank you for that. And we do have an update on the local students and their families who are still trying to get out of Afghanistan right now. The Cajon Valley Union School District says 3 families have safely made it out. One of the families is back here, but there are still 5 families waiting to leave. That includes 14 students and 8 parents. The district is working with Congressman Darrell Issa to bring the students home quickly and safely.
This morning, a San Diego Afghan woman is home safe after escaping the Taliban. Aria Rayofi was in Kabul, where she opened a photography school for children. She documented her horrifying escape. News 8's Abby Alford has the story.
Aria Rayofi flew home from San Diego last weekend. She's too traumatized to appear on camera with us today, but in our conversation, she shared just how terrifying it was to escape Afghanistan and what she's hoping for those still there. Horrifying memories that San Diegan Aria Rayofi can't get out of her head as she tried to escape the Taliban in Kabul last week. She saw people killed as she ran through gunfire next to terrified children and their families. Aria is now home in San Diego. We had a long conversation about her traumatic escape.
I don't know what I got myself into.
That was August 15th. She allowed us to share what she documented on Facebook.
Taliban are getting closer and closer, and it's chaos.
Aria, who opened a children's photography school in Kabul, tried to escape 3 times but couldn't get to the airport.
These are all these kids, all these families, all these kids.
To get to the airport, she had to go on foot through Taliban checkpoints. She ran through desperate crowds where thousands of people were running and screaming, being shot, smoke bombed, or beaten.
Please help, I know.
She says before running from these gunshots, the Rancho Bernardo native was beaten with a stick. The Taliban broke her driver's arm with the butt of a gun. She was screaming, but knew the Taliban would have no mercy, so she ran.
This family's so kind and nice. They're like really protecting me, taking me under their wing and helping me. I used to be in the Afghan forces.
Aria says on her 3rd try, a U.S. special agent helped her escape. Despite being safe in San Diego, Aria says that she has PTSD. She slept for 2 days to numb the pain, but cannot get the horrific images out of her head. She has anxiety and continues to have nightmares. She worries about her students, who she hears may have no food. She worries about her family and so many other families left behind. Aria says that she is grateful for the support and prayers, but she says action has to be taken. She wants Americans to pressure lawmakers and President Biden to not pull out the U.S. military. Aria says that she continues to work on her documentary about Afghanistan through the lens and appreciates any type of support to share their stories. To learn more, go to CBS8.com.
Incredible story she has. Thanks for that, Abby. As more Afghan refugees arrive in San Diego, there's a group of volunteers based in East County ready to help.
Yeah, they're doing such a great job. The group called Helping El Cajon Refugees on Facebook collects everything from food to furniture to transform empty apartments into homes. These people came here with nothing. The private group posts a long list of grocery and household items they think families will need. And San Diegans, boy, they're stepping up.
Where if you have items to donate, you can post them, and if we have the transport, we're just volunteers, we will come and get it from you.
The group has helped set up apartments for 4 families this week. If you have any items you'd like to donate or want to help out, we do have a link to the group's Facebook page, which is on our website. All you got to do is head to CBS8.com and find this story.
And be sure to stay with News 8 for the latest developments out of Afghanistan. You can also visit CBS8.com, our News 8 app, and our social media pages.